Hi everyone, I'm Leo, and today I'm gonna present my sculpture presentation video. So the artist I chose is Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Uh, he is one of my favorite artists of the Baroque time. So I chose him. Uh, let's begin with who was Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Gian Lorenzo Bernini, also called Giovanni Lorenzo, he was born in Naples on 7 December 1598 to Angelica Galante, a Neapolitan mother, and a mannerist sculptor, Pietro Bernini, originally from Florence. He has a very wide family, and they had like uh, 13 children, and he was the sixth one who is born in this family. And he's also see from the outside of his family the prodigy genius of his family. And when he was age of the 8, he obtained the title from the Pope Paul V, who after sewing him, he told to Gian Lorenzo Bernini and says he will be the Michelangelo of his era, and this is really happening. Because in 1615, between 1615 and 1620, Gian Lorenzo Bernini are moved to Rome with his family, and which he started to train with his father about how to become a sculptor, and working as the admission with the Pope is giving to his father. So this is the young life that Gian Lorenzo Bernini had best. So after he has worked a lot with his dad and with the admission of the Pope and everything, and also for the St. Peter Basilica, he took the attention of the Scipione Borghese, which is a very rich patronage in Bologna, and under his admission, he worked from 1618 to 1625, and under his admission is born a lot of works of sculpture which are famous. For example, the David and Apollo and Daphne, which I'm gonna represent in the next slide. So under this slide, I write the most things that people are saying of Gian Lorenzo Bernini for his sculptures. So what are his sculptures? The first one I'm gonna represent is David of Gian Lorenzo Bernini. The David sculpture by Gian Lorenzo Bernini is in a normal size, different by the David of Michelangelo. His David has more a dynamic atmosphere. Since it seems like David is actually moving, is actually doing the action of the taking the rock from the floor and trying to throw it. And This David is sculpture. It should be representing the young uh, hero, biblical hero, David, which is killing the giant. And the second sculpture that I'm gonna represent is Apollo and Daphne. Apollo and Daphne is one of the famous sculpture of the Gian Lorenzo Bernini, which is saying the a mythic story of the Apollo who is chasing Daphne because he was so in love with her, but but the Nymphaea doesn't exchange the desire of the god. So she tried to run away from everything, from the river, from the nature, and from the Apollo, and at the end she's transforming into a plant, which is a sad story. And we can see is represented the scene which Daphne is trying to escape from Apollo, and is transforming into a tree, a plant. Also, this sculpture is in normal size, is in the natural size, and we can see the emotion of Apollo, which is sad, and he's trying to help Daphne from it and chase Daphne to take her back. But Daphne, she's like she's very frightened from she is transforming in the plant. And I think Gian Lorenzo Bernini represents this myth really well from his sculpture. And also this is my favorite sculpture. So what's Gian Lorenzo historically importance? So what are the historical importance of Gian Lorenzo Bernini? I think the importance of Gian Lorenzo Bernini is he conduct us to the Baroque art period. So what I mean from Baroque art period time? So we can see from the changes from a time period and another time period. A Baroque time period is a very special time period, which people are using a lot of gold in the architecture and other things like sculptures. And who introduced this? I think it was Gian Lorenzo Bernini with his Bardaccio in St. Peter Basilica. And he also introduced new techniques of using gold, as I said. So also he bring a new generation to the sculptures. We see sculpture in the Renaissance like the David of Michelangelo and other sculpture. Most of them are immobile. They don't give us a certain atmosphere that they are alive or they are moving. But actually, the sculpture that Gian Lorenzo Bernini does give us this sense of moving and a dynamic atmosphere, which transport us in a new era of sculpture. That's what I think. Because we can see the difference from the two Davids. The first one from Michelangelo we can see a very detailed, uh, a really detailed uh, expression of the face and the muscle systems and everything in detail. But I think in the sculpture of Gian Lorenzo Bernini, the things in detail is the action, what the character are doing it. For example, his David, he's actually, I think the most important point of the David for Gian Lorenzo Bernini is the taking of the rock and seeing that his David has so much power to being a biblical hero. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say for importance of the artist. So here are my personal opinions. My personal opinions about this sculpture is actually, I'm gonna say my personal rating is really high, because I really like his sculptures and his architectures. Not because the details of his sculpture and architecture, but most of them from how he represents this fact, how he showed up the fact to the public. Because, for example, a lot of the sculpture, people cannot directly understand the story behind it. For example, the David. So who knew he was a biblical hero from looking the Michelangelo sculpture, but from the Gian Lorenzo Bernini's sculpture, you can understand directly because he's showing from his action and how he's powerful of the emotion in the face and everything. And also in the detail, it's just perfect for me because I'm a fanatic of the natural size sculpture, so I think everything is a perfect size, perfect proportionate, like respect to the Michelangelo's one. So those are my personal opinions, and thanks for watching.